Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody. At Suparia Entertainment, we have a lot to talk about right now, and we'll let Hunter take it away.
All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Now, Scarshot. We had two betas, major beta updates. We had the first release, and then we had the special Christmas one with the bonus village and trading. Now, the third beta is being planned, and it has ideas, gnomes, but that's only an idea, and we could do anything with this at the moment. But we are going to lean into at least some trinkets or items you could put in your 3 utility slots, which would customize gameplay.
Along with the trinkets, a few other things have been planned slash talked about, like potions slash bottles being used for certain items. We have no clue on what yet or how to implement them, but they have been talked about a little bit, and more animals. Like, I think the first passive moving animal would be the duck. The duck would be this little friendly animal that you just kind of see around. Maybe killing it for feathers. I don't know how we're gonna do anything with this, but the duck is something we have discussed a little bit. I mean, we also have a few other little assets we've talked about and I've discussed with him. And there's been some more plants. Like, recently in the second beta, flowers and gnomes were added for decorations. A small idea here is pumpkins. It's not fall right now, but there's always room for pumpkins, as pumpkins are just like a casual, common thing you might see in a normal world. Plus, it just adds more depth to your world. Some trinkets that I have discussed / made some designs for include like a frying pan, which is more of a weapon. You can throw, and once it hits an opponent, it drops back down, and you can pick it up and throw it again. And a slingshot, which would have an arced projectile path like Angry Birds. A quiver for a bow and arrow, which we really don't know how to implement yet, so we're discussing a little bit more on how that could work. Some trinkets that I've came up with recently that are just ideas still, but they could always work out. A few of them I'm going to list off here, such as the Eye of El Dorado, based off the movie, which is where mobs will drop gold 50% of the time you kill them. I mean, trinkets, we want to use trinkets to make each person have their own game plan on how they want to play this. Another one is the Shield of Magic, which blocks from 25 to 50% of oncoming damage. I mean, if you're one that frequently gets harassed by the monsters of the night, that might be helpful. Now, a funnier one, something that I was kind of excited about, is the Golden Pan. It behaves like the normal frying pan, but instead of hitting somebody and stopping, it just continues through, and it just like pierces through all of the enemies in its path, and then you can pick it back up when it eventually hits the floor.
Speaking of frying pans, some of our other future projects have the frying pans in them too. Notably, a 3D game we have plans for. We'll go more onto that later. I'm going to add on to the Scarshot real quick. We do have plans for a kind of Near King and Scarshot crossover, but I feel like I want to get the update for that out closer to the actual Night of Near King's release. But we do have a planned skin pack, which skin packs will not come out in every single update. But we did have, of course, the default pack and the Christmas one.
I think, coming briefly to Scarshot's first birthday, which will be next year, of course, we would like to do this thing for its birthday with a birthday skin pack, which would also include us as playable characters, which it might be a little bit egotistical, but I mean,
we're already villagers.
Like that. Yeah, we're already villagers. But the birthday skin pack will probably have Scar, Relly, maybe even the chicken or duck with some birthday festivities. And we might have a little area on the map for birthday. I don't know where it would be, but maybe it's by the Christmas area, maybe not. I don't think it'll be by the Christmas area. The map will surely expand by then because we've got pretty much half a year.
Actually, we have more than half a year, but
yeah, we do.
You know,
it's like 8 months, I think.
Geez, what was it? November 17th?
Yeah, November, I think, was whenever it got released. I mean, we've had issues with Steam because we have to, I guess, verify. We've been going through the whole process of trying to get it uploaded on Steam, but it might not come out on Steam until it's fully ready to go. Because it seems problematic to do with Steam right now, as there's currently a little asset in the required things that we have to do to set up the store page that it keeps saying isn't up to par, but it is. I guess they're using AI to detect some kind of weird flaw in it, but there's nothing really there that is confusing, I guess.
Speaking back on that, all the Nier King stuff, Night of Nier King will hopefully come out within these next 2 years. I know there's been lots of troubles in the past, but now we have a clear, straightforward process to at least get it on the website niche. Steam page is what we're hoping for, and we should have all the Steam stuff settled for that. But speaking beyond the first game, I don't know if you've seen any of the Christmas countdown stuff that I've messed up. But there were hints at a Night of Nier King 2. And we have a couple ideas for many future projects. Like, of course, we're eventually going to make it to 3D. But sticking back with the 2D, I do want to mention something about the second game. It's gonna intentionally be a kind of black sheep title, and it's gonna go experimental with some gameplay and some features. And it might just carry over, so it won't be just a black sheep title, but as it's planned right now, it will be a black sheep title. And that doesn't mean it's gonna be bad, because we're gonna make it good. I'm not gonna make something I don't want to play. But we're just gonna go experimental with some of the future stuff.
Recently in Scarshot Beta 1, there's a few little bugs that will be patched out. Not Beta 1, Beta 2. They'll be patched out, but, you know, Beta 2 has been pretty great. I've sat there and played through it quite a bit, and yeah, it's a little bit confusing trying to understand some of it because there's not like a set guide, but we plan to make a guide of sorts, be it a video, be it some kind of digital booklet, eventually a physical booklet. But as for now, it's kind of just... We need to get a wiki up for the Scarshot, which I think it's something we might be able to focus on coming closer to the Steam release of Scarshot. I think soon we have mentions of file saves and, multiplayer. Item names, multiplayer, and file saves. I think, realistically, that item names is probably the first to come. File saves, now that might be tricky, and multiplayer is going to be probably the most difficult implementation yet, and it's going to take quite a bit. I would say multiplayer might not even come out until the first full Steam release. It might not. There might be some early testing right before, but as it stands right now, there's not big talks on multiplayer, but multiplayer is something that is like a big focus and something that we really wish to implement soon. It's kind of hard being, I guess, on the lower end of the spectrum of coding. Like, we're not professional, but we are professional in a sense that we're going to deliver our best product, and we're going to have a sense of, I guess, dignity or responsibility when it comes to our content. We're not professionals at coding, but we're going to treat it professionally. I think I don't even know what I'm gonna say here. I just lost it.
I'm not overworked, I swear. But speaking of multiplayer, we do have a couple of fun titles in mind, or just ideas, which will be multiplayer focused. Just some multiplayer with obviously some single player, but we have plans for expanding the Scarshot art style with Scar games, which I don't know if the title might stay, but it was just a collection of fun mini games. You play against CPU or other people, play competitively. Just a bunch of mini games like maze running, or I don't know, just think small mini game. I think one of them on there was like airborne racing, so we'll go with planes. But that will use the obvious Scarshot art style, Scarshot textures. And then another idea we have is this will probably be our first 3D title, but we have ideas for a boxing slash like kind of paddle game. Harmon, if you want to talk about that, that's more of your thing.
Suparia Knockout is some game I have planned that I'm going to be trying to use Godot on, which is something new that we haven't quite stepped into. But I'm going to start Suparia Knockout this winter, or at least start working on it this winter. And Suparia Knockout is going to be a multiplayer fighting game with simple, like Nintendo 64 or PS1 style graphics. And it's going to be our first 3D project to release, hopefully. Other than 3D models that we might have sent pictures of in the Instagram. Now, we don't have a fully set idea on how this is going to work, but some of the weapons and interesting things that we have is like shield and sword violence. So like you can fight someone with a shield and sword like you would in Minecraft or other games. Daggers and like wrist shields. I don't know if you've ever seen Avengers Endgame with Captain America having those, or no, I think it's Infinity War. He has those like cool looking wrist shields. We're thinking combat like that with daggers, to spice it up a little bit. Then there's going to be boxing gloves / fists, depending on what you want. Boxing gloves, you're just going to be boxing. Then there's going to be bow conflict, where you can sit up in the little nests and shoot each other down. And then we have mentions of a thingamajig gun, which will shoot, I guess, random projectiles based off of other Suparia items. There's going to be some funny power-ups to use, and there is mentions of a story mode, which it's a work in progress, so I'm not even going to mention it. But the first things we need to do are get 3D models going for it. Then we need to get a 3D arena that you can kind of look at. And then I'm going to work on the game and getting the punch mechanics and a working test out that you can play kind of 3D slap a punching bag, I guess. And then I'm going to work on implementing multiplayer. Trying to get that right off the rip. Hopefully, we can try to get this out around summer. It might be like especially long since it's a new software and it's 3D, which is something we haven't quite stepped into. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Suparia Knockout.
Yeah, so take any of our planned release times, especially when we actually haven't started working on the project, with an added 2 or 3 years. But, what can you do? Moving on to some other ideas. Like you said, we're going to be moving into 3D, and I have tested out with making the models. And do I have a deep hatred for rigging animations? Yeah. But I think the payoff's worth it. Anyway, other future ideas. We do want to move into actual physical product, which, I don't really care how big we're doing, how well we're going. Leaning into just physical product is just cool. Honestly, even if it's just for me to look at that and just be like, that's cool. I don't really care, so I'm just gonna do it. And if you do check the website, we do have some stuff listed on a store, though the store is not running and active yet, so you can't actually buy the stuff and order it. But there is, I guess right now it's just a mock-up. However, as soon as possible, we do plan on actually making it functional, which is just going to take a few things. So, heck, it might even be out before the video's out. Doubt that though. But that's just clothing. Like, there's the anti-rally doormat, which, boo, rally, boo. But there's blankets, shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. What, a necklace? All this cool stuff. So, I guess stay on the lookout for that.
Speaking on Relly, you know who will be getting coal for Christmas? Well, Relly, of course. Now, will y'all be getting coal for Christmas? I don't know. Depends. Are you gonna support Suparia and go download our games, or are you gonna be like Relly and be uncool? That's up to you to decide, honestly. But from Suparia, we wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holiday to all, and to all a good night.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho!